All right, good morning, traders. Today's July 10th, 2025. My name is John Carignan. I am the lead instructor here at the day trading service for hit and run candlesticks here in the BYOB Trading Room. All right, how I plan to trade SPY. We're going to get into that. Give me just a minute. We're going to go over a few other things first. Let's start off with open houses. Okay, we got this Monday on the 14th from 9:25 to 4. Doug Campbell's going to have an open house in the Right Way Options Trading Room. All right, so he'll be up there teaching you how he enters trades, how he exits trades, how he manages trades, how he manages risk, how he manages money, how he manages spreads. All right, he's very good with spreads. All right, so don't forget it. Mark it on your calendar. It's hey, look, it's no charge to attend. All you got to do is register. Now I'm going to leave a registration link in the description below. All right, so in the description below, we're going to put a registration link down there. All right, open house Monday on the 14th. 9:25 to 4 p.m. All right, let's go take a look at some other stuff here and see what we got. All right, let's start the prep or what happened yesterday. All right, today's July 10th, 2025. Good morning. Thanks for being here. Hey, thank you everybody out there in digital land, podcast land, cyber land, everybody out there. Thank you so much. For subscribing, for following, for liking, for being a part of the BYOB experience. Thank you so much. I don't take that for granted. Again, just like our subscribers, I try to provide actionable, profitable content and usable content and lessons every day for everybody that follows me. Thank you, Bob Jordan. All right, so and Kathy, Roasted, and Sarah. Thank you so much. All right, let's get down to it. My SPY pivot this morning, 623.10. Above it, I'm a bull. Below it, I'm a bear. All of the Fab 5 are in daily uptrends. All made higher lows and higher highs, closing over their bullish traps over their 17 EMAs. Hey, QQQ made a new all-time high yesterday. SPY closed with a 2-hour uptrend and a 10-minute uptrend. Gold technically in a downtrend, but get this. It's not moving down. Gold made an inside day, closing under the bearish trap and under the 17 EMA. Silver still in an uptrend, made a lower high and a lower low, closing under a bearish cross, but over the 17 EMA. USO in a daily uptrend. USO made an inside day. Inside day is a lower high and a higher low from the previous day, closing over the bullish trap over the 17 EMA. UNG in a daily downtrend made a lower high and a lower low, closing under a bearish trap under its 17 EMA. And get this, US dollar index is still in a downtrend, closed near the 97.50 area. As traders and investors, we like that, okay? For the consumer in us, it sucks because it means our dollar doesn't go as far, all right? But for the trader and investor, we love that. That opens up new markets for us, especially for securities. The opportunity to sell to a new group of people because our dollar is weaker now and it's more, our goods and services are more affordable. So SPY max pain today, 621, with a put to call ratio of about 1.7 puts to each call that expires today. Remember, those index options expire at 4:15, while those security options expire at 4 p.m. So those SPY index options are going to expire at 4:15 today. All right, and they expire at 4:15 almost every day, unless it's a short day, like we close at 1 o'clock or something like that. But for the most part, SPY max pain 621, put to call ratio 1.7 puts for each call that expires today. All right, let's take a look at what we got marked off here. Okay, so we got some products. These are all in uptrends. All of these under the bulls. All of these are downtrends. Okay. Now these are up in little grinder boxes. Okay, that means a grinder box is one of those. They're setting up and they're like consolidating near the high of their last rally, or of the rally. Okay, so they're consolidating up there, just grinding away at some overhead supply or resistance overhead. So coin is in one of those boxes. And let me mention, I think Trader mentioned yesterday that Bitcoin is hit a new all-time high yesterday. All right, so we could see a breakout on coin. ZS also in one of those boxes. All right, and PL also in one of those boxes up there. Let's take a peek at those real quick so you can see the box as it's setting up. See what we can gather from it. All right, so let's take a look at the first one. Coin, COIN. Okay, you can see you've got almost an inverted head and shoulders here. Okay, there's the head, right shoulder, left shoulder. So you can see the box that price is in. All right, so we get up. We are poised to break out for new highs here in this grinder box for coin. Okay, notice this was the last grinder box breakout right there. See that? Right there, that was the last one. Okay, so this is poised for another breakout. Don't forget, I didn't look yet, but supposedly Bitcoin's at a new all-time high. So this is looking good for a breakout. Watch for a breakout today. I think it could happen. We'll see what happens. But there's coin. Let's take a look at the other one. Was ZS, Zscaler. Okay, you can see they are also grinding away right here at overhead supply. Okay, watch them for a breakout today. All right, and tomorrow, if it doesn't happen today or tomorrow, just don't want them to close below the 17 EMA. Next one is PL. PL set for grinder box breakout. Not really, not as pretty as the other ones, but you can see right through here. Don't like PL as much as I like ZS and coin. All right, I think Joby already broke out. That was on our list. Look at the breakout, and I flagged that so everyone could participate if they wanted a little swing trade to the upside. See the box breakout, and you got to move up. Now it's creating another box. We'll wait one or two more days to start the second box. Okay, so there's Joby, Oust. Oust is another one that's on the list. Oust is getting ready. Okay, so Oust looks pretty good. All right, now if you look at this right here, all right, if you compress those two candles together, you get a wick. All right, wick would be the top over the body. Okay, tails under the body, wicks over the body. So you can see right there, Oust is looking good to break out to a new rally high up there, or at least challenge that high up there. Look at the higher lows here, building up energy to make a rip, probably up there to challenge that high, maybe higher. We'll see. There's Oust. All right, let's take a look at now that we've taken a look at those were on the list right here. Okay, trying to think of another one. I think M-Chip already broke out. There's a lot of them. Fleer, I think, broke out. All right, so anyways, that's that. Let's take a look at one other thing here. What do we got? I want to look at the 5K account. Let me see if I got that. Okay, that's not it. Just bear with me. All right, here we go. Okay, so here we are. This is the 5K account. Now, we started this on the 7th. Okay, you can see the 5K account is up to 5099. These are the holdings inside the 5K account currently. Okay, Got some 0 DTE, 624 calls. Got some 1 DTE, 615 puts. Okay, so that is the current value of the 5K account that we started on Monday, all right, which would be July 7th, 2025, right there. Okay, and this is the 27K account that we started on Monday, July 7th. Started at 27, and we've worked it up to 53K, about 53K right there. And these are the holdings inside of the 27K open house, new 27K account. These are the holdings inside there right now. Okay, so performance is looking good. All right, got to work on that 5K account. I mostly trade the 27, but I need to get over there and start trading some of that 5K account to bump that up as well. All right, so just wanted to update you as far as what's going on with the new accounts that we started on the open house, and that was July 7th, 2025. All right, I'm going to move these out of the way now. Okay, put these over here for the other traders. All right, let's take a look at SPY. All right. All right, we're going to look at SPY on the 10-minute chart. Okay, we're going to look at it on the game plan tab right here. You can see coming into the close. Okay, see we have the 3 EMA. We're on the, let's go to the 10-minute chart. We're on the 10-minute chart, and the 3 EMA on the 10-minute chart, okay, is up over, with the candlesticks, up over the 8 EMA. Okay, so that is a bullish trap. We got space between the 3 and the 8, and look at the window between the two moving averages is moving up. All right, the candlesticks are moving up. All right, so we have a 10-minute uptrend coming into the close on SPY. So what am I looking for? I am looking for another bullish continuation of this 10-minute uptrend. I expect it to keep on rolling right on up to new all-time highs today. That's what I'm expecting. We'll see what happens. Doesn't mean I don't always get what I expect. So, but that's, if maybe we don't get new all-time highs, maybe we challenge the all-time highs. We'll see what happens. All right. So I'm looking for price to continue this 10-minute uptrend. Now, all-time highs are 626. I think 34, around there. I'm not positive, but I think it's around there. And I'm also expecting SPY to move all the way up to 650, all right? Just expecting, okay? Doesn't mean I don't always get what I want, but I am expecting that. So here's SPY on the 10-minute. Got a 10-minute uptrend, so I'm looking for continuation of that 10-minute uptrend. So I want a green candle, all right? I want something that says we're moving higher, okay? So I don't want a red candle, okay? Because a red candle is not the candle I want in an uptrend, all right? Because, hey, number one, it's showing me bearish control, all right? I want to see bullish control this morning as I start my new trade, all right? When I open up in the morning, I want to see the bulls grab the football or the price football and start to move the ball forward and move higher. So I want to see some a bullish behavior, and you don't get that out of a red candle, because what that's showing you is it starts up higher and the bears have control. All right, so we don't want that candle. We want a green candle, okay? And we don't want a green candle with way more wick, okay? More wick than body and tail. Okay, because if it's got more wick than body and tail, that's showing us bearish control. All right, so I don't want bearish control. All right, I'm looking for bullish control. So if it's got more wick than body and tail, that's showing me that the bears have more control than the bulls have. All right, I don't want a doji. All right, and I don't want a spinning top. Okay, so I don't want either one of those, because those just show me everybody's in agreement with where the price is at. All right, that doesn't suit me. I want to see bullish behavior. I want to see bullish control. So I want a decent green candle to buy into this morning, and we may not, it may start or manifest here early in the morning, long before it gets to, this is the game plan, by the way, okay, long before it gets to the first green erases red entry, which is up here. So if the bulls come through here and they erase all of that red, see all this pullback, and the bulls erase that and they start moving higher, that's the first green erases red move in the morning. But we may get this green candle long before we get the green erases red entry, and I'll be willing to trade that as well on the continuation of this 10-minute uptrend over VWAP. Now we make most of our profits here. Okay, we're not very good at picking tops or picking bottoms. Okay, but when we got a trend over VWAP, we love to trade that. We can make money on that. Okay, it's really quite simple. You see the 10 or the 8 EMA, the 3 EMA and the 8 EMA. Imagine buying at the 8 EMA right here, the option, or the security, either one, and selling, okay, when it's far and away, okay, in other words, up over the 3 EMA, okay? So buying at the 8, selling up over the 3, okay? And just constantly doing that over and over, candle after candle. You can rack up some profits just like I did on the new 27K account, okay? 10-minute uptrend over VWAP right here. Okay, that's what we traded yesterday. We traded this rip rally in the morning over here. Let me pan over so you can see that rip rally in the morning. Okay, you can see price gapped up. All right, and just started ripping in the morning. So it gapped up. I think it gapped up over pre-market activity. I don't have pre-market activity on that one. Anyways, gapped up over that and just started to run. So we bought into that, and we took some profits here, and some of us got completely out. Some of us were trying to buy the pullback, and we got taken advantage of, but it wound up clearing itself out as price got back up over here. Okay, so hoping for a VWAP pullback, and we went much further than VWAP on that one. What is this? I don't like that. I want that out of here. That's weird how that one did that. That usually doesn't do that. What is this? Oh, I know what it is. Okay. There we go. VWAP is the brown line right through here. Notice the 10-minute uptrend over VWAP. Okay. That's the brown line right there. Okay. So we have a green erases red entry up over 624.55. Okay. The pivot today is 623.10. Above it, I'm a bull. Below it, I'm a bear. We have a red erases green entry underneath 621.05. Okay, I like Friday options. I like Friday options on the multiple of 5. I like Friday options because they have more open interest. I like the multiple of 5 because they have more open interest. Okay, I like my options to be $5 to $15 out of the money. They offer it's less risk, but I won't get the performance that I will with an in the money option. Okay, or a 0 DTE option. If you want the best performing option, most of the time it's going to be that 0 DTE in the money option. Will give you that almost that penny for penny performance in that option. Okay, but I like Friday options on the multiple of 5. So those would be because today's Thursday, they're going to be 1 day till expiration and 8 days till expiration. All right. Also like 10-minute uptrends over VWAP, just like we had yesterday. 10-minute uptrend over VWAP. All right. And if it manifests down here, okay, long before we get to the first green erases red, I will not be opposed to trading it, okay? If it breaks a rubber band candle or gets up over the pivot, okay? I'm not opposed to trading that 10-minute uptrend over VWAP. Same thing with the 10-minute downtrends. I like 10-minute downtrends under VWAP. All right. So if a 10-minute downtrend happens to manifest up here long before we get a red erases green entry, I'm not opposed to trading the 10-minute downtrend, okay, as it crosses under the pivot or breaks the rubber band candle, okay? So there's a 10-minute chart there. What is a rubber band candle, okay? So the point of interest for me, all right, is usually VWAP. It doesn't always be VWAP. I mean, it's not always VWAP, but most of the time it's VWAP. All right, so when I trade it, that I'm looking for a candle that spikes, and then it will be the free floating candle that rises above the spike candle. Okay, so that would have made this candle right here. Okay, notice it's the first free floating candle, okay, that's above the spike candle. See, it's not completely above, you can see, but the price goes beyond the spike candle right there. So here's the spike. Notice it goes through VWAP, the point of interest, and then you've got the free floating candle that is not attached to VWAP. Notice that, and price is gone beyond that. So beyond that, that's a trade for the upside on that. Okay, so that's what I like. You break the rubber band candle or you're up over the pivot, one or the other. All right, so there we are today. You got marching orders for today. Okay, we're looking for an uptrend, a continuation of that 10-minute uptrend. All right, to manifest today and continue rising up higher. That's a nice trend. I'd like to see that continue on higher. So there's SPY on the 10-minute chart. Let's take a look at the 2-hour chart. We're going to hit a cleaner chart here. All right, and we're going to hit the game plan 1. All right, we're going to hit the 2-hour, and then we're going to hit clean chart again. Okay, now you can see we've got the 3 EMA. All right, is now, it was under, now it's over the 8 EMA. So we have a 2-hour uptrend right there. It's not over VWAP, but we have a 2-hour uptrend. The candlestick got over VWAP, but the trend not quite there yet. But anyways, 2-hour uptrend, all right, right now, currently, into the close last night. Daily chart, daily uptrend. You can see the daily candle, higher low, higher high, closing over the trap, okay, that's the 3 on top of the 8. That's a bullish trap. If the 3 was underneath the 8, it would be a bearish trap. This is a bullish trap because the 3 is on top of the 8. 3 EMA is the faster moving average. Okay, and then you can see the trap and the price candles are up over the rising 17 EMA. That's bullish. Okay, so you can see here's price action for the rally. All right, from SPY. Here's the April rally. We are in an uptrend. We are making higher lows and higher highs. All right, we are consolidating up here at the top of quadrant 4. That's bullish. We're in an uptrend because we make higher lows and higher highs. So that's bullish. And we're up over the prior all-time high anchored VWAP. That's this pink line up here. All the way up here at the top of quadrant 4. That's bullish, all right, on SPY. So what do I like? I like a 10-minute uptrend over VWAP. Okay, see, that's what we got right here. Okay, that's inside of a 2-hour uptrend. Okay, and I like that 2-hour uptrend to be inside of a daily uptrend. Okay, and I like that daily uptrend to be inside of a weekly uptrend. See the weekly uptrend? 3 on top of the 8. All right, inside of a monthly uptrend. Okay, see that? 3 on top of the 8. Monthly uptrend. We did not make a lower low. See, we made a low, but we did not make a lower low. All right, so there's inside of a monthly uptrend. Okay, all up over, see the pink line? This prior all-time high anchored VWAP or the all-time high anchored VWAP. Okay, so there's SPY. That's the setup that I like. Now, if I get a 10-minute uptrend over VWAP and it's inside of a 2-hour uptrend, okay, that's inside of a daily uptrend, but the weekly and the monthly not quite ready yet, all right, I'm not opposed to trading that 10-minute uptrend. It's just today we have the unique circumstance or opportunity to trade 10-minute uptrends over VWAP, all right, that happen to be inside 2-hour uptrends, inside of daily uptrends, inside of weekly uptrends, inside of monthly uptrends, all over the all-time high anchored VWAP. Okay, that is the perfect recipe for success, for robust rally. All right, that's what we like. And hence, SPY's hitting new all-time highs about 4 days ago. Right there. Okay, so there's SPY. Okay, let's take a look at QQQ. QQQ has a game plan as well, if you didn't know it. We'll drill down to that. Here's QQQ game plan. Let me back out a little bit. Okay, and guess what? I like the same options for QQQ. All right, I like Friday options, either this Friday or next Friday. So 1 DTE or 8 DTEs, okay, and maybe even beyond. All right, I'm bullish. All right, I like them on the multiple of 5. Okay, so 555, 550, 545, 560. You get the idea. Okay. Again, just like SPY, I like 10-minute uptrends over VWAP. All right, I like them when they're over VWAP, and I can see that the trend or the trap, all right, and the candlesticks are peeling peeling away from VWAP, all right, in that separation. In other words, they're not stuck, all right. I like it when they're peeling away from VWAP. I like that a lot. Okay, so I like 10-minute uptrends over VWAP. Again, I'm willing to play or trade a 10-minute uptrend that happens to manifest down here, okay, long before it gets to the green erases red entry way up here, okay? So if it manifests down here, crosses the pivot, I'd be interested in trading that before it gets to the green erases red entry. Just saying that that's opportunity for me, okay? Same thing on the downside. So we have a green erases red up over 557.40, okay? That's a green erases red entry up there. We have a red erases green entry underneath 551.10. You can see here's the rally up there, okay? Here's the pullback. So if the bulls bought the pullback and they want to take it higher, they'll have to pass through 557.40 to get it on up higher, okay? And at that point, it will be green, all right? The bulls are racing the bears pullback right there, okay? So that, hence, that's the green erases red entry over 557.40. Now, my pivot today for QQQ, 555, okay? Above it, I'm a bull. Below it, I'm a bear. And again, red erases green, okay? So here's the bulls, all right? If the bears come through and erase everything that the bulls just did and go for the gap fill down here, notice nice little open gap, okay? So that's showing you the bears don't fill the gap before 12:30. That's showing you bullish control right there. There's bullish control. Anytime the bears can't fill the gap before 12:30, that's showing you bullish control at that time. All right, so there's QQQ game plan, okay? Again, red erases green underneath 551.10, okay? That's QQQ game plan. Same thing. Got a 10-minute uptrend. I'd be looking for the correct candle, okay? I don't want anything with way more wick than body and tail, okay? Because that's going to show me bearish control. All right, and if I'm going to buy an uptrend, I want to see bullish control. All right, so I don't want anything that's showing me way more wick than body and tail. I don't want anything that looks like a spinning top. I don't want anything that looks like a doji. All right, I want to see a nice green candle. I don't want a red candle. Okay, nice green candle because I'm looking for bullish control I'm looking for a bullish move higher, all right? Because I am trading this 10-minute uptrend. So I want to see bulls step in and take it there, okay? So there's QQQ. Take a look at this on the daily chart, okay? Again, I do all my training and all of my tweaking here in the morning before 8 o'clock, okay? So if you're not watching the video, that's where the majority of the training and the teachings happen, right here in the morning, okay? In the daytime, we're doing trading most of the time. Hey, thanks, Alan, for sharing that. Okay, so let's look at QQQ. Yesterday, look at this new all-time high for QQQ. See that right there? See the space between that high? None up here. New all-time high for QQQ yesterday. Hey, it doesn't get any better than that. Anytime index or security makes new all-time high, it's bullish. All right, that's all you need to know. It's bullish. All right, so there's QQQ. All right, new all-time high, new rally high, new all-time high. QQQ. SPY. Okay, not a new all-time high. Okay, but consolidating up at the highs, right up here. Okay, in other words, making an attack on the all-time highs. Okay, so there's SPY. Look at this. Okay, that was the prior all-time high. Okay, there's your new all-time high right there, 4 days ago. Okay, let's take a look at FNGU. Okay, FNGU has 10 of the most heavily weighted securities that are in the SPY and the QQQ, so we keep an eye on these. They have a tendency, when they move as a pack, to drag the two indexes up along with them. Okay, you notice the structure moving up and holding the higher ground. Okay, that's the secret. Okay, price is moving up and it's holding the higher ground. Okay, moves up, holds the higher ground. Okay, that means they want another breakout. And now we're doing the same thing again, holding the higher ground. What am I looking for? Another breakout. Okay, so we'll see what happens here. Okay, doesn't mean I'm going to get it, but that's the bullish behavior that makes me want to be holding something like this, because it's making or expressing bullish behavior by moving up and holding the higher ground, as opposed to moving up and giving it up. Okay, there'll be plenty of examples of that to come before the video ends, of price moving up and giving it up. Okay, we like it when it goes up and it holds that higher ground. That's the bullish behavior. This is a neutral behavior. Okay, anytime you see bullish gap up, all right, that's not filled by the bears, that is a bullish environment. You see consolidation over prior consolidation, that is a bullish environment. Okay, see the consolidation over prior consolidation right here. See that? And now we're getting it again. All right, notice the consolidation over prior consolidation. That is a bullish environment. Okay, and then we had this yesterday in the SPY, and I was showing this to traders. SPY. And okay, I'm going to show you this on the 10-minute chart. Okay, here is, here is consolidation from the prior day. Okay, and then look what we had, a pullback, and then price consolidated, see that, over the prior consolidation. Okay, and that's what I was showing traders yesterday. Okay, that we have consolidation over prior consolidation. That's a bullish environment. Hence, we bought the consolidation right through here. Okay, because it was still consolidating, and then it started to melt up, and then we go taking Take that on right there. Okay, 10-minute uptrend right there. So we bounced off of minor support right here. All right off the base. We're looking for this to move back up there, challenge the high, and get up further. Okay, consolidation over prior consolidation. That's bullish. All right, enough about that. We did FNGU. Let's talk about IWM. Okay, IWM on the daily chart. Okay, new rally high. Okay, not a new all-time high, but new rally high. Still in an uptrend, making higher highs and higher lows. That's an uptrend, all right, on IWM. Up over all-time high anchored VWAP. That's bullish. All right, let's take a look at Diamond Dow. Diamond Dow is yesterday's candle would be an outside day. All right, it's a higher high and a lower low. I thought everybody made yeah, I guess I got that wrong. Got an outside day on Diamond Dow. Higher high, lower low, closing over a bullish trap over the 17 EMA. It is a higher high and a higher low. Yeah, low here, 442.05. Low here, 442.28. Yeah, higher low, higher high. Closing over the bullish trap, just like the others. Over the rising 17. We're up at the top of quadrant 4. That's bullish. You're moving up and you're over the all-time high anchored VWAP. That's bullish. And you have an uptrend. All right, you got higher lows, all right, and higher highs. Okay, so here's a low. There's a higher low. There's a higher low. There's a high. There's a higher high. There's a higher high. Okay, that's uptrend. Okay, so there's Diamond Dow. Still in an uptrend and up there in top of quadrant 4. That is bullish. Anytime you're in the upper third, all right, that's bullish. In the lower third, that would be bearish. In between, you're just neutral. Let's take a look at our technicals. Start off with T21.22. Okay, you can see we were in the buy zone. We got tossed out into the buyer's chop zone, and we scurried our way back into the buy zone near the end of day right here. Okay, so I'm expecting more buy zone today, and I'm also expecting some overbought zone. Okay, we'll see what happens. T21.23. Look at this bullish gap that's still open. Okay, that's a sign that the bulls have control. Look at the price structure move up and hold the higher ground. Okay, that takes a tremendous amount of energy to hold that up there. Okay, notice them holding this higher ground. Okay, look at the bullish gap up. Notice never got a gap fill yesterday, showing you bullish control right there. Okay, look at buying from the beginning of the day to the end of the day. Looks like the boys had 3 breakfast burritos and then went back to buying again right there. So bullish control up over, okay, the prior day's close, gap up, and the bears never filled the gap. All right, that's showing you bullish control. You want to be bullish. They're not filling the gap before 12:30. Bullish control. There's T21.23. Okay, up over the rising 200 SMA. That's bullish. Okay, holding the higher ground. That's bullish. Okay, making higher lows and higher highs. It's an uptrend and moving up. That's also bullish. Okay, we'll look at the same product on the 3-bar chart. Okay, notice 3 more green candle bars and it continues moving higher. Okay, so we've taken out this prior all-time high. We've taken out this prior all-time high. We've taken out this hump right here. Okay, we got higher than that. See the candles sticking up over it? Okay, so now all that's left, all right, for obstruction, for obstacles, all right, is the all-time high up here. Okay, now I'm looking at, all right, you got all of the Fab 5 are in daily uptrends and bullish, all right? I really think, and with between the inflation that we've had, I really think they make a new all-time high. If not, I think we double top, all right? At minimum, we double top, but I really foresee between inflation, a new all-time high for T21-23 way up here. We'll see what happens, okay? We're up over the 200 SMA. That's bullish. Again, you got a low, you're making higher lows. You got a high, you're making higher highs. That's an uptrend on the 3-bar chart. Uptrend on the daily chart, everything's moving up, okay? As opposed to moving up and giving it up, okay? So what's an example of moving up and giving it up? Here's one right here, okay? A move up and they give it up and more. That's bearish, okay? When you move up and you give it up, that's neutral. But when you give it up and more, that's bearish. Okay, so here you can see they moved up and gave it up and more, so that was bearish. All right, and notice for the bears, okay, they moved down and they gave it up, so that's neutral for the bears. But now they're giving it up and more, so that's bullish right there. Okay, watching the price candles, not just one candle, not just two candles. What are the candles telling us by looking at the nature of what's going on? All right, T21-23. Okay, and the last one here, we'll take a look at FNGU, and then we'll look at a few sectors. Okay, here's FNGU. This is a 15-minute chart. Price action for yesterday. Look at bullish gap up. There's your clue again. All right, not filled by the bears. Buying from the beginning of the day to the end of the day. That's bullish. And look at them hold the higher ground up here. Okay, they're grinding away at overhead supply. They're ready to pop higher. FNGU. Nice work up over this rising 200 SMA. Didn't make a new all-time high. Okay, didn't. But came darn close to challenging that all-time high. Look how close they came. Within pennies. Up there. Okay, that's FNGU. Okay, when you're attacking the all-time highs, that's bullish as whatever. All right, so let's take a look at some sectors. All right, we'll start off with XLE. XLE, oh, look at that nice green candle. Having an inside day yesterday. Okay, closing over a bullish trap, that's bullish. All right, closing over the 17, bullish. Over downtrend line 1 and over downtrend line 2. That's bullish in nature right now. You can see price action goes up and gives it up. Okay, so you can see price goes up and then they give it up. So that's neutral. Again, they go up and they give it up. Neutral. They go up and they give it up. That's still neutral. They go up, they give it up again. That's still neutral. Notice they go up and then they give it up. That's just neutral. And they go down, okay, and they go down and give it up too. See, they go down and give it up. So that's just neutral, all right? If they get up there and hold that higher ground up in the upper third, that'll be bullish, okay? They are currently in an uptrend, okay, because they're making higher lows. See the higher lows? And they're making higher highs. See the high, last high, hey, new higher high right here. Okay, so they've made a higher low. There'll be pressure on the bulls to produce a new higher high. Okay, there's the high. They need to make a higher high. Okay, nice work on this 2-3 days ago right there, XLE. Okay, it's in an uptrend. It's still in neutral territory. Okay, we're not in the upper third. Okay, which would be up here. We're not in the lower third, which would be down here. Okay, this would be all of this would be the lower third. All of this would be the upper third. Okay, so we're not in bullish territory and we're not in bearish territory. We're just neutral and we are making a move up. All right, so we're moving from bearish into neutral. Maybe we spend some more time in neutral before finally getting bullish up in here. We'll see what happens, okay? They are in an uptrend, not over the all-time high yet, okay, anchored VWAP, but looking good, all right? Making a second attack on that all-time high anchored VWAP. That's the pink line. Let's take a look at USO. Try it again. Lost my mouse. USO. Okay, USO in the upper third. Okay, that's bullish up there. Okay, notice they went up and they gave it up. Okay, need to see them hold the higher ground for once, not keep giving it up. Notice they go up, they give it up, they go up, and they give it up and more. Here they're back up, and they gave it up. We need them to hold the higher ground. They're in the upper third, so that's bullish up there. Okay, they're over the 3-year high anchored VWAP. Okay, right here. They're in the upper third, that's bullish, and they're in an uptrend right now. USO looking good. I want to see them hold the higher ground now. Okay, they're looking fantastic. Okay, not fantastic, but they're looking good. Up here would be fantastic. Right here, just good, and they're bullish, and they're in an uptrend. Let's take a look at UNG. All right, UNG is showing you a, well, they're showing you the head and shoulders, okay? So you got a head right up here. You got a right shoulder right there and a left shoulder right there, okay? And you can see they broke the neckline right through here, okay? Not quite that. That's kind of thick. Let's take that out. Let's try this one more time. Okay, right through here, neckline. All right, so you can see they're on their way to attack the all-time lows down here. Okay, they broke the neckline. They're in a downtrend. They're in quadrant 1. That's bearish. Remember what I said. Lower third. Lower third. Okay, anywhere down here, this is all bearish in the lower third. Okay, and you can see price action. They're in the lower third. Okay, and they're making lower highs. See the high? There's a lower high. Okay, and you see the lows? See all these lows? Yeah, well, they're making lower lows. So that's a downtrend. Lower highs, lower lows is a downtrend. Okay, down here, quadrant 1, that's bearish. UNG. Okay, so that's bearish, looking ready to attack the all-time lows. Okay, maybe they double bottom and then reverse. We'll see what happens. There's UNG. Let's take a look at gold and silver. Okay, gold's in a downtrend. Okay, gold got themselves in a downtrend because they got a low here. Well, they made a lower low. All right, so they're in a downtrend. All right, if they take out that high, they'll be back in an uptrend. All right, that's all they got to do. Take out that high, they'll be back in an uptrend. They're in a downtrend, but let's face it, they're not moving down. All right, they're moving right. Okay, you can see price action moves up and then over to the right, holding the higher ground up here in quadrant 4. That's bullish. They've been holding over 300 now for about, well, since April. Let's see, okay, May, June, and July, up over 300. Little pop down, and they recovered it right there. Currently, they're showing you an inverse head and shoulders, that being the head. Okay, this being right shoulder over here, okay, and left shoulder right here, okay. So we'll see what happens. They're currently, that's bullish, right? They're in a downtrend, not moving down. They're up in quadrant 4. That's bullish up there for GLD, okay. Let's take a look at silver. Silver, excuse me. Again, silver moving up, holding the higher ground. That's bullish. Up in quadrant 4, it's bullish. They're making higher lows. See, there's a low, higher lows, and they're making higher highs. See the high, higher high. That's an uptrend. Bullish. All right, and up over. This is a 12-year high anchored VWAP. All right, they're at 12-year highs right now. All-time highs right around, I think, 48 or 46 something. Okay, so there's silver. All right, so new rally they have made. This is the rally high and the 12-year high. Okay, so that's silver on the daily chart. That's bullish and in an uptrend and holding the higher ground and showing you an inverse head and shoulders, just like GLD. All right, let's take a look at SMH. All right, SMH yesterday, new all-time high. Doesn't get any better than that. XLK. New all-time high. Doesn't get any better than that. Okay, just like QQQ, new all-time high. XLF. Consolidating up here at the top of quadrant 4. That's bullish and still in an uptrend over the prior all-time high right there. Okay, XLF. IYT. Transports up in making a new rally high. New rally high. Here's April rally starting from April. Here's a new rally high. Not a new all-time high, but a new rally high made yesterday. Again, up here in quadrant 4, that's bullish, making lows, got higher lows, highs, making higher highs, that's bullish. All right, and an uptrend. Okay, so there's IYT. Okay, so you got transports are in an uptrend. All right, and bullish. And you've got semiconductors and technology are bullish and in an uptrend. Come on, they're making new all-time highs. You got financials bullish and in an uptrend, okay? We've got the dollar in a downtrend. We've got the makings right now of a really robust rally, okay? All we need is some good news catalyst, maybe some earnings next week, maybe it's a possibility. Maybe some peace around the world. Anytime you get peace, all right, you get to open up the shopping stores reopen, all right. They start stocking shelves, all right, and it takes goods and services to do that, all right. So that anytime you get peace, you start rebuilding. That means money starts to flow again, and the commerce begins to explode in that area, all right? Instead of bombs, you've got trades and commerce starting to work, and money is being exchanged as they rebuild, all right? So peace is a big deal, all right? Same thing with Big Beautiful Bill. Hopefully, I don't know what's in it, all right? But so they say that's going to inject more money into the economy. That would be nice. Cheaper money also makes the economy grow, okay? If we got some rate cuts, all right? Can't do any rate cuts until we find out what they're going to do for tariffs, all right? So maybe some trade deals that get finalized instead of just, what do they call it? They keep pushing it back, all right? They keep delaying the tariffs, okay? Maybe some trade deals that get completed instead of delayed tariffs, all right? The market likes certainty, okay? If you give the market certainty, it will balance itself where it's supposed to be, all right? Right now, we have some certainty, but we don't have an idea what current administration is going to give us for tariffs. So if we get those soon, some trade deals that are completed, all right, and they look good, I mean, you could see probably SPY shoot on up to 650, maybe even higher. Okay, not to mention we've got a new bubble forming, okay, and it's called AI, all right? So AI bubble is starting to form, or already formed and growing, okay? It's the AI bubble, all right? And it's being used globally, all right? It's huge, all right? So AI is, we can see an explosion in the markets here over the next 1 or 2 years due to just AI. The idea that we've got machines that are going to do the work for us, all right, that are going to get the job done. What would take us, 3 to 4 hours to create and write, we've got AI that's completing it, in short amount of time. That's time saving, all right? So there's a huge AI boom happening right now. All right, so we got a lot of stuff on the table and in the pipeline to really make this market grow, and things are looking good. All right, I'm just saying we got everything's looking good. Let's take a look at the economic package. First, we'll start off with the dollar. Okay, I'm going to zoom way out so you can really see the dollar. this is where we are with the dollar now, about 67.50. Okay, you can see it is at, this is 2022. This is at a 3-year low. All right, you can see we're obviously in a downtrend because we're making lower highs and lower lows. See the lower highs and the lower lows. And you can see we broke major support right through here. Okay, so that will become minor resistance as we broke major support right there. And we are bear flagging and breaking down even lower right now. Okay, it sucks for the consumer, but let me just say, for the markets and the investors, anytime you get more sales, all right, and let's face it, cheap goods and services tend to sell more than the expensive ones, all right. So let me just say, we could get a huge bump from this, the dollar being weak. For the consumer, it sucks, but for the investor, it's a beautiful thing when you get the weak dollar. Okay, so there's a dollar in a downtrend. Max pain for today, 621 right here. You can see it. And then the put to call ratio, 1.71 puts for each call that expires today. Possible put squeeze, all right? I still see a bullish 10-minute uptrend manifesting and moving higher. That's what I believe may happen. We'll see what happens, but I think that's a strong possibility for that to happen. Earnings, okay? Again, we got some familiar names going to report today or tonight. Okay, Delta Airlines, Conagra Brands, all right, Simply Good Foods, all right? All of this, familiar names. Nothing that's really going to move the markets. They may help out their sectors, Levi Strauss, okay? But it's not going to flip the markets based on their earnings right there. They just don't hold enough market cap to really move the markets right there. But they can help out their sectors, all right? Economic calendar. Yesterday we had FOMC minutes, which did not seem to phase the market at all. The market made a higher low and rallied back to challenge the high, all right? So if it was bad, I didn't know it, all right? Today we got jobless claims, 8:30. Alan already shared them. Let's see what we got. Actual initial claims 227. The range was 225 to 260. So we were well within the consensus range, actually closer to the lower side as far as initial jobless claims. So that's fantastic right there. Okay, and we got a natural gas report coming out at 10:30, and that's it. And tomorrow you can see you get a rig count, and that's it. So wherever they want to move it, they're free to move it because there's no data coming out that's going to obstruct their path. So if they want to go to higher highs, this would be the week right now, today and tomorrow, because there's nothing to obstruct them. There's no earnings, there's no data. All we need is, delayed tariffs. That's a good thing. So I really foresee market making new all-time highs today or tomorrow. We'll see what happens. All right, so I went through the earnings. I did the economic calendar. We're done, all right? I'll see you guys in about 30 minutes, and we'll get this wrapped up, and we'll kick off the market. All right, I see. Yep, thank you. Thank you, everyone. Appreciate that, all right? I really see new all-time highs today or tomorrow. Let's see what happens.